Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama SC. I am going to be teaching you guys how to install Diablo 2, how to install older versions of Diablo 2, maybe some mods, things like that, because I get questions every day on this stuff on my YouTube, on my Twitch, everything. So the first thing that we have to do is you want to go to your Battle.net account, right here, boom, here's my Battle.net account. And under Classic Games, so if you haven't bought it yet, you can go to Classic Games. This is just Battle.net. Go to Classic Games and you can just install these. I'm not going to click into them because it's going to show my keys, which I don't want to do. But you will go and you'll get Diablo 2, then Diablo 2 LOD. You have to have both, and you have to install Diablo 2 first and then Lord of Destruction. It has to go that way. If you don't do that, it won't work. So once you've installed those or download them, whatever, not from there, you will have this icon, right? This is just Diablo 2 latest, right? Latest patch. So if you go to properties, things that are important, adding a space -W at the end is going to allow it to open in windowed mode. If you don't do this, you're going to get the entire screen, right? So if I take off this -W, let's see if it even shows it. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like it will. There we go, right? So this is where you fill that whole screen, and it's all ugly and everything is terrible, right? Oh my gosh, it's so big and stretched. Awful. Don't quote me on that. It actually, like, on my screen it widens it. On the stream you're seeing on my screen, it gives like black bars and kind of shows it in a better frame, keeps the same dimensions. But this is the full screen, and I don't know, for me, I personally enjoy windowed a lot more. Some people like full screen. That's how you play full screen mode. But I personally am a windowed fan. Even though it gives you a very tiny window, you eventually get used to it, right? So you get a little 800 by 600 window here. You can get programs to lock your mouse to this window if you want, but I don't do that. So sometimes I'll click off the window. It happens. So important other things to note, you will see compatibility. I'm running this as Windows XP Service Pack 3 and running this program as an administrator. That is very important to do. If you don't do that, a lot of times you're going to run into issues, even with the installers, things like that. If you are having issues and it's not running as administrator, I encourage you, go run it as administrator, okay? So that's going to be your basic Diablo 2 installation. Now moving on to installing something like Plugy and D2SE specifically for using that. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to this site. I will go ahead and link it to you guys. And so this is, I'll link it right here, and you can kind of like choose what you want. I did the US versions. And this is for Plugy. The reason is because you need to have 1.13 or prior. So this is an older ISO, right? So this is 112. And so you have to have something 1.13 or prior to use Plugy. 1.14 will not work. So you're going to go ahead and download these, right? So you'll download a zip. And that should get you this puppy. Back one. Back one more. Back one more, right? So you have a zip in your downloads folder. I put it in a one more folder up, but you have in your downloads folder. And did they really, Zor? I don't know about that. You have in your downloads folder, you unzip it, go to in US, and you should have these two folders or files. You're going to have D2 112 and D2 LOD. Once again, you're going to want to do D2 first. So you'll run the installer. I've already installed it, obviously. So you'll do install from there. Once you do that, you'll come back. You'll do the same thing with LOD. It's going to want you to put your keys in there. So you'll enter your keys at that point. Once you have done that, you should have Diablo 2, right? You should have a Diablo 2 icon somewhere. And that'll be a 1.112 version. And people are saying compatibility is fixed from 1.14. Oh, interesting. So it might actually be fixed, in which case you wouldn't have to go through these steps. So just go through these steps if it's not. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next part, which is the kind of important part, and that is getting D2SE. So once again, I'll put this link here, and you can just kind of follow through with this guide for how do I install? And here's the download right there. Download D2SE and install it. Mac compatibility, not D2SE compatibility. Okay. So you may not need that. You may be fine with 1.4 patches. But yes, so you'll just go here, you'll get that, you'll download it, and you should end up getting something that looks like this. Once again, properties, compatibility, run program as administrator, run as administrator, and run compatibility mode, service pack 3. Very important you do this, right? Once again, that's a lot of times why you're going to have issues, is the administrator stuff. So you can open that up. One thing you'll note is you're going to see a lot of mods down here. I have removed these. So if we go look at my folder, where did I put that folder? Here we go. So here's my Diablo 2 folder, and under Diablo 2 mods, that's my median, D2SE cores, right? So under your D2SE cores, you're going to have a list of, you're going to have like 1.07, 1.08, 1.09, whatever. You can delete all those ones if you want. I personally just wanted to keep 1.13C because that's all I really cared for. And so I have that. And then it's going to be set to glide right there. I changed it to ddraw, and then use Plugy. You want to check that. That won't be checked initially. And so from here, I can just double click this, and I will have a second alternative version, whatever not, of Diablo 2. You'll notice I can't change the gateways here because I can't go online. And it's going to have a different save folder and everything like that. And this will give me, of course, a Plugy character, as you guys know my character, with all of the stashes, right? And all the different items and everything. Okay. So that is just getting D2SE right there. And then from there, you can play Plugy. And you can also install other things such as Media and Excel if you want into there, right? D2SE is a mod manager. So what I've done here is I have, actually I kind of want that back. Let's go there again. So I've separated my stuff into 3 folders. I have my base game, which just has my base stuff. I have my Plugy mods and D2SE and all of that in here. And then in Media and Excel, it's just simply another copy. But you have to change the, what is it, patch D2 MPQ file. That's like the only change you have to make for installing Media and Excel. So I just decided I would just create a new folder for it. So I just have those 3, and then of course I have my links over here. So if I click this one, it's going to bring up Media and Excel for me. This one brings up regular D2 for me, and this one brings up D2SE, where I can go into LOD and just play my Plugy. So those are my methods right there of kind of installing and downloading. Once again, I will place those links in the chat where you can get D2SE, where you can get the previous versions of Diablo 2, right? The previous ISOs in the event that you want to install those. And yeah, and that should hopefully guide you guys through everything and give you a basic idea for setting things up. Remember, once again, run as administrator, very important, and then run in compatibility mode can also be pretty important. So hopefully that helps you out. If you have any questions, feel free to post them below and whatnot, and I'll try and help you. There's some weird errors sometimes and things like that, but hopefully that should get you there. Thanks. All right.